Okay, when we left off, we had just finished getting the formatting done for this, and the next step is to learn about formulas. So this is about how you can use the spreadsheet program to create formulas. And it's quite straightforward. You just have to remember that you're giving the computer instructions about what to do. Okay. And you can type things right into directly in. So I could calculate the tax on each of these on a calculator and then type the answer in under this and then do that one at a time. But spreadsheets are more powerful than that. You can actually give it a formula to use and then you can make that formula apply to multiple things and it sort of saves you time. Okay, so in order to tell the computer that you want it to do a formula, you're going to double click on your cell and you're going to start that cell's contents with the word equals. Okay, you'll notice that as I type in here, it appears right in my cell as well as up here in what we actually call the formula bar. Okay, so when you click on any given cell, you can actually see what the contents of the formula are, because you'll see when I'm done this, it's actually going to give me a number in this cell, but the contents of the cell are going to be a formula that I use. To figure out the tax in Ontario, you're going to put equal, you take the cost, and then you multiply by the decimal equivalent of 13%, which is 0.13, and I hit enter. And now it's calculated, and you can see the content of the cell shows me 23 cents, but my formula is actually here. It's contents of whatever is in cell D2 times 0.13. Okay, so there are a few different ways that I can get that formula to transfer down. And if I want to do the same thing time after time here, I'm just going to, the fastest way is to click this little square and drag it down and let it go. And what it's done is it's calculated all of the tax amounts for each of these amounts just by copying it and dragging it down. Okay. So I don't want these borders here. I'm going to click on this, and remember our border button is here. And if I ever want to get rid of borders, I can just clear them. And now the borders are gone. Okay. The next thing I want to do is to make sure I'm going to just take this formula here, any one of them really, and I'm going to copy it by using Control C. And then I'm going to put Control V and Control V again. And that's another way that I can copy a formula and do you just want to double check to make sure that it's referring to the proper cells. So if I click on here, it's telling me D7 times 0.13, and indeed my price is coming from D7. Okay, now all I want to do is add up and find the total of the cost plus the tax. So I'm going to put that here, and that one's easier because I just hit equals, click on the first cell that I want to add, hit plus, and click on the tax. So I've got the cost plus the tax equals this. And when I do that, Google's going to be really helpful and say, do you want to put that in every cell? Do you want to add up the totals of every one of these? And I'm going to say, for sure I do. Okay, and notice that these ones don't have values in it, so it's giving me this error message. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and delete the contents of that and delete the contents of that, because that's not what I want there. For these ones, what I want is to add up all of the things that are in this one section. So I want to know how much am I paying for all of my snacks. So I'm going to hit equals, and to find the oh, look at that, it's giving me a suggestion. Okay, and it's asking, do you want to total all of this stuff? And I sure do. So I'm going to just point out, so all I have to do is type in lowercase or uppercase sum, open up the bracket, and now I can click and drag, and it's telling me I want to add up all three of those and then end my bracket, and then I hit enter. Okay, and I don't want to make that, I want to make that stand out a little bit, so I'm going to make that bold and italics. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. So there's a couple ways I could use the sum formula. So again, that's equals sum, open up the bracket, highlight the cells that I want to add, and then hit enter. Again, I'm going to put bold and italics just to make it stand out a little bit. And the last thing I want to know is how much are all of these things going to cost me? So here's my total. And I'm going to very quickly put that as right align just to make it look better, and then bold it. And now I want to add my snacks total with my entertainment total. So I'm going to put equals, click on this, plus, click on this, and there we go. And if I make that bold and italics, I'm done.